Today's video is a step towards achieving a full snatch that is more than your power snatch. Our goal is to use movements that will help you with key positions so that they will translate to the main lifts. This video will be broken down into 3 sections. A warmer or primer exercise, which will help you with your understanding of key movement patterns so that you can progress them to a higher skilled movement. A main exercise where you can drive more intensity into the lift, and finally an accessory exercise. This is usually a more simple version and broken down to address one segment of the lift or issue that we're trying to correct. So with that out of the way, let's get stuck straight into the first movement, a pressing snatch balance. This is our warm-up or primer exercise to help you with your snatch technique. Dropping into a full overhead squat is a skill that takes time. Therefore, these exercises will give beginners the practice they need to improve. The pressing snatch balance combines the overhead squat and the behind the neck press to help progress to a snatch balance. Our goal here is to develop confidence in the overhead squat position and progress to the snatch balance. To perform the pressing snatch balance, begin with the bar on the back, behind the neck. Find your snatch grip position. To address your stance, you should be in the snatch receiving position or an optimal squatting position with your feet slightly outside your hips and toes slightly turned out. As you press the bar overhead, descend into a squat. Practicing this exercise should allow beginners to feel more confident with moving into a deep squat. Beginners will often find it challenging to land into a full squat with a fast lockout of the elbows. As a coach, I often find myself reminding them to punch or press the bar earlier as they descend, making it easier to land into a full squat. Building on the warm-up movement, the pressing snatch balance, we can now drive more intensity into this exercise with a more complex movement, the snatch balance. The pressing snatch balance can be progressed to the snatch balance. Here we are adding speed to the previous exercise. Instead of pressing the bar overhead and descending into a squat like the previous progression, we are combining the dip and drive we learned earlier to explosively drive the bar up and overhead whilst dropping into a full squat. To perform the snatch balance, begin with the bar on the back and behind the neck and find your snatch grip position. It should be the same as what you did in the pressing snatch balance. Perform a dip and drive to thrust the barbell off your back, and as the bar is driving up due to the momentum of your leg drive, drop under the bar into a full squat and lock your elbows. Beginners will often find it challenging to land into a full squat straight away, therefore focusing on landing at a comfortable position initially and then completing a squat is a good way to introduce yourself to this movement. Following on from the main progression that we focused on, the snatch balance with a pause, now the overhead squat is your final assistance exercise. Our goal here is not to improve leg strength. We can do that with other squatting variations, but continue to understand where the bar is in space and have confidence when moving into a deep overhead squat. This is a great accessory movement to add into your training. Practicing this exercise will also make you more familiar with the overhead positions required for the snatch. Now that you're aware of the 3 strategies that we just discussed when it comes to improving your snatch technique, here's a simple way that you can add this into your program so you can start getting the benefits of these exercises. If you have a snatch day coming up, it would work well to add your warm-up or primer exercise first, which is your pressing snatch balance. Use this to get accustomed to the movement, and then you can drive more intensity by adding more weight, following that with a snatch balance with a pause, and potentially build up to the same weight that you're going to be full snatching. For example, if you're going to be full snatching 60 kilos in that session, you can build up to a 60 kilo snatch balance for one set, having the confidence and speed, knowing that you can definitely full snatch that next exercise. When it comes to your assistance movement, the overhead squat, you can perform this at least once per week on any day. I would recommend a day where you're not performing high intensity squats so you can save your legs. Your goal with your overhead squats is just to work on technique. You're not trying to max out your overhead squat every session. You're just trying to practice the movements and be accustomed to the new body positions. Hopefully you found this video helpful and you can incorporate these movements into your training. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.